Velocity Blue isn't a paint option, it's a search and rescue color spec. And this Ram 2500 was built to be found, not just driven. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the RHO Expedition exists as a complete operational platform, not a factory truck with bolt-on accessories. There's one interior decision here that separates this from every other overland spec heavy-duty on the market. And is the total package worth the premium? My answer depends on how far you actually go. We're covering the cabin, the exterior integration, and the powertrain. This brief didn't come from a consumer overlanding trend. Here's what stops me, and it's not the roof tent, and it's not the full LED light bar. It's the bed rack architecture. A structural square tube bed rack rated for a rooftop tent, recovery boards, Pelican equipment cases, and a fuel can simultaneously is a load engineering decision, not an accessory choice. The factory rack integrates into the bed rail mounting points, not the tailgate or the bed floor. That matters because factory rail attachment distributes load directly into the frame. An aftermarket rack bolted to the floor distributes load into the bed sheet metal. Under sustained off-road vibration over 8-hour runs, that difference in load path determines what survives intact. Speculative tech number 1. A load-sensing rack management system embedding strain gauges at each factory rail mount point, feeding real-time load distribution data to the suspension ECU. When rack load exceeds a set threshold on one side, indicating cargo shift, the adaptive dampers pre-compensate by increasing stiffness on the loaded corner. It's the same principle as active load compensation on commercial vehicles. No production truck has applied it to Expedition rack mounting. The platform architecture sets the standard. The cabin tells you whether the rest followed through. Step inside and the RHO Expedition cabin delivers something that no other heavy-duty overland truck has executed at this level, a coherent two-tone color language carried completely through every interior surface. Ocean blue leather covers the door panels, seat bolsters, console lid, and lower dash panels. Charcoal black perforated leather occupies every primary seating surface. Carbon fiber accents frame the door panel cap and the passenger side RHO badge. Every material in this cabin was chosen for a specific reason, and the blue leather isn't decorative. It's the same visibility specification as the exterior color. In remote terrain operations, interior-exterior color consistency is an operational identification detail. The center console lid is wider than a standard 1500 console, providing a flat working surface between seats for trip planning or gear inventory. It's not a luxury upgrade, it's a workspace decision. For anyone who's tried to spread a topo map across a cramped console at 6 a.m. in a Forest Service Road parking area, this is the answer. The 12-inch vertical touchscreen runs a 2-panel layout with dedicated seat, climate, and automation control tiles. Speculative tech number 2, an Expedition mode UI that activates when 4WD low is engaged, consolidating fuel range, water temperature, suspension travel, and GPS track recording into a single screen layout without manual menu navigation. The system reads drivetrain state and reorganizes the display automatically. Where I think they've missed the mark, the carpet is standard spec loop pile. At this specification level and price point, rubber-backed removable floor mats should be factory standard, not a dealer add-on. The cabin builds a complete case, but the backstory behind this platform explains why it was spec'd at this operational level. Step inside and the RHO Expedition cabin delivers a coherent two-tone color language carried through every interior surface. Ocean blue leather covers the door panels, seat bolsters, console lid, and lower dash panels. Charcoal black perforated leather occupies every primary seating surface. Carbon fiber accents frame the door panel cap and the passenger side RHO badge. Every material in this cabin was chosen for a specific reason, and the blue leather isn't decorative. It's the same visibility specification as the exterior color. In remote terrain operations, interior-exterior color consistency is an operational identification detail. The center console lid is wider than a standard 1500 console, providing a flat working surface between seats for trip planning or gear inventory. It's not a luxury upgrade, it's a workspace decision. For anyone who's tried to spread a topo map across a cramped console at 6 a.m. in a Forest Service Road parking area, this is the answer. The 12-inch vertical touchscreen runs a 2-panel layout with dedicated seat, climate, and automation control tiles. Speculative tech number 2, an Expedition mode UI that activates when 4WD low is engaged, consolidating fuel range, water temperature, suspension travel, and GPS track recording into a single screen layout without manual menu navigation. The system reads drivetrain state and reorganizes the display automatically. Where I think they've missed the mark, the carpet is standard spec loop pile. At this specification level and price point, rubber-backed removable floor mats should be factory standard, not a dealer option. The cabin builds a complete case, but the backstory behind this platform explains why it was spec'd at this operational level. Here's the origin piece. The RHO Expedition brief reportedly came from a wilderness search and rescue coordination group, operators who needed multi-day self-sufficient capability with crew comfort for 72-hour deployments. The exterior color, the rack system, and the powertrain spec all came from that requirement. Here's the origin piece. The RHO Expedition brief reportedly came from a wilderness search and rescue group needing 72 hours self-sufficient deployment capability. The color, rack architecture, and powertrain spec all trace back to that single operational requirement. Start at the front. That full steel bash bumper integrates a factory winch mount, dual auxiliary LED cube lights, and a full-width LED light bar in a single unit. The light bar isn't positioned for aesthetics, it's at hood height for maximum forward throw without blinding oncoming drivers. Fender flares are bolted, accommodating the RHO's wider track and 37-inch mud terrain tires. Bolted flares are trail replaceable with a socket set. Bonded flares require a body shop. The bed rack runs structural square tube across the full bed length with integrated molly panel on the rear face, ladder access, and hard shell rooftop tent mounting. Recovery boards and fuel can mounts are integrated into the rack, not clamped on aftermarket. Ground clearance on the 2500 RHO platform appears to be approximately 14 inches based on wheel arch proportion. At 14 inches with 37-inch tires, this is the most capable factory clearance in the heavy-duty segment. This design holds up long-term because the matte black exterior hardware is powder-coated steel, not painted. Powder coat survives sustained rock abrasion, UV, and trail chemicals without degrading. A 5-year-old RHO should look essentially the same as a new one, which protects residual value. The platform makes the capability promise. The powertrain determines whether that promise can be sustained. Platform baseline. The 6.7-liter Cummins diesel, 420 horsepower, 1,075 pound-feet of torque. In an Expedition-loaded 2500 RHO, roof tent, fuel cans, recovery gear, 2 occupants, total system weight can approach 10,000 pounds. At that weight, 1,075 pound-feet available from 1,600 RPM means this truck doesn't hunt for gears on a grade, it simply climbs. Speculative tech number 3, sustained load thermal management. Dedicated oil coolers for the transmission and transfer case that activate predictively when GPS grade data indicates a sustained descent or climb above 8 degrees is approaching. Standard heavy-duty cooling systems activate reactively after thermal thresholds are exceeded. A predictive system using GPS grade data pre-activates cooling before thermal load accumulates. Against a Ford F-250 Tremor at 500 horsepower, for anyone who's towed a loaded Expedition setup on a 15-mile mountain descent, sustained thermal management on the descent is the capability that determines whether you arrive with a functioning drivetrain. That's the full engineering picture. Now let's talk about what it costs and who it's actually for. Now, here's what I actually think. Completely straightforward. The search and rescue origin explains the visibility color, the factory rack load rating, and the diesel calibration for sustained output under full payload. This wasn't built for the weekend warrior market. It was built for people where failure has real consequences. Now, here's what I actually think. Completely straightforward. The search and rescue origin explains the visibility color, the factory rack load engineering, and the diesel calibration for sustained output under full crew payload. This was built for consequences, not convenience. Pricing. Expect a window sticker between $82,000 and $98,000, depending on cab configuration and Expedition package level. Context. A Ford F-250 Tremor runs $72,000 to $88,000 with comparable off-road credentials, but no factory rack system, no integrated rooftop tent mounting, and a significantly less cohesive interior specification. A Ram 1500 TRX lands around $82,000 with dramatically more horsepower, but it's a half-ton platform with a 1,500-pound payload limit. When you're loading expedition gear and a crew, payload matters more than peak horsepower. The 2500 RHO carries a nearly 4,000-pound payload rating. That's the comparison that actually matters for this use case. On depreciation, heavy-duty trucks with genuine factory-integrated expedition packages have historically held residual value stronger than stock HD trims with aftermarket additions. Factory accountability for every system, rack, tent mount, bumper, winch, means the next buyer isn't inheriting unknown installation quality. Here's the call. If you run multi-day remote operations, search and rescue, ranch access, genuine backcountry expedition, and need a heavy-duty platform that's factory accountable for every component, this is the most complete option in the segment. If your off-road use is occasional and you don't need 4,000-pound payload capability, the F-250 Tremor covers your use case for $15,000 less. At the open, I said that Velocity Blue was a search and rescue color spec. Having walked the full platform, everything from the rack load engineering to the diesel calibration was built around that same requirement. For the right operator, this is the most complete factory expedition platform available. I genuinely like your perspective, especially if you've run multi-day backcountry trips in a Power Wagon or a previous Ram 2500. Drop it below. RHO Expedition versus the F-250 Tremor. That's next. Subscribe if this analysis is what you're here for. See you then.